road to Cary for the Men's College Cup runs right down the street through Raleigh tonight. Second round action, top 16 NC State. They welcome the Marshall Thundering Herd, reigning NCAA finalists from a year ago. And these programs have some history. Met last year's NCAA tournament. This place is ready to rock and roll because as the bracket unfolds, Virginia, Greensboro, they're kicking off just minutes prior. The winner of that matchup, the winner of this game, they'll meet in the round of 16, which means we're in for a great week of college soccer. Thanks for joining us at Dail Soccer Stadium with Brad Sweeney. I'm Evan Budrovich. We noted the rematch from last year, but this NC State team, so much success throughout the year. What should you expect tonight?
Yeah, NC State have had a great season, but Marshall, historically over the past 4 or 5 years, they've had a great, success in the NCAA tournament. So we're expecting a highly competitive game, especially early on in the NCAA tournament.
And deep in these tournament matchups can be so fun because Marshall has shown a deep run in the Sun Belt. They were a lower seed, won back-to-back matchups, very physical program, but has tournament aspirations.
Yeah, and still a great overall record. 12 wins already this season. Obviously lost the final against UCF, but a team that likes to play, but also a physical team here as well. You can see 55 yellow cards, highest in Division 1, so definitely aggressive team.
Two different styles, but David de la Vibora, huge goal on Thursday. He could be an anchor offensively.
Yeah, and for the tournament, it's all about momentum. When you can score and you get off the mark in the tournament, you're just going to look to get the next goal in the next round as well.
And then the Wolfpack have elite scoring as well, but coming into the year, we noted the defense of the Pack, second best in goals against in the country. We're going to take a quick timeout and get ready for opening kick when we return here in Raleigh. Right after this timeout, Wolfpack and Marshall coming up next. To Raleigh. Welcome back to Raleigh's second all-time meeting between Marshall and NC State, both here in the NCAA tournament. And this place is rocking tonight for second-round playoff action. We noted Marshall early on, but for NC State, earning that first round protected by the Wolfpack, elite defensively, second in goals against in the country, but a disappointing finish to their ACC season.
Yeah, tough loss, and a surprising loss against Syracuse, 3-0. But for NC State, coming into this game now, that game is well behind them. They earned a bye into the NCAA tournament, so they're well rested and looking to just continue their form throughout the season into the NCAA tournament.
Because Donovan Phillip is an absolute weapon offensively, second in the country in goals scored.
Yeah, he's had an unbelievable season. Like 15 goals, only playing 17 games. That's just an unbelievable record for a striker. And, he'll look to carry that form, into these games now because this is when it really matters.
Phillip is the key anchor up top 10 in points in the country. And here is Mark Hubbard's starting 11. We noted Phillip excellently, but Logan Herb's going to have a big night tonight as the goalkeeper, part of the all-conference team in the ACC, and then Caleb Tommy anchors this back four defensively.
Yeah, I think NC State, they've been consistent with their starting 11 throughout the season, especially towards the end. Herb in goal, Markovic as well, ACC Defensive Player of the Year. Those two in particular, Herb and Markovic, are really standout players for NC State defensively. There's
the 4-4-2 for Mark Hubbard. Chris Gassie's lineup. Chris Rumberg has been a great goal scorer, 5 goals this year. And meanwhile, how about the new goalkeeper, Asian Magoda, earns his first start in the first round. This is his second ever career game at Marshall.
Yeah, I mean, big game to start, but he'll be coming in with confidence. But if you're NC State, you're going to look to test him very early on, just to put him under a little bit of pressure. But he'll just be looking to settle in straight away.
There are the brothers at the midfield, Nikita and Kirill Pakormov. Excellent Russian tandem that anchor this Marshall unit. Graduate 8 starters from last year's club to make the national finals. Chris Grassi, these last 5 years at Marshall, it's been truly impressive, the run. 3 Sweet 16s, multiple Elite 8s. When it comes to tournament success, maybe not better at this level than what Marshall's done.
Yeah, I think that's just a great record in the past 5-6 years. Obviously won the championship in 2020, but even last year as well, getting to the final. Unfortunately losing to Vermont in there, but that game could have went either way. Obviously, still a great season for them.
And we already have a wild bracket. Vermont's been eliminated. The number 1 team in the country's out here in the second round.
Yeah, still quite a few upsets today as well, but Marshall still had a great season. Still won 12 games so far, and that's a great season.
6 wins in the Sun Belt. The Wolfpack 4-1-3 in the ACC. And this time of year in men's soccer, it can be absolute wild. Chalk is not always guaranteed to move on in this sport. Last year's matchup was a thriller. 2-1. Marshall pulled it out late. And here's Marshall on Thursday. Dominated the first 60 minutes of possession against Cleveland State, but needed to hold off a splurge of shots from the Vikings. Wolfpack had the week off with the bye. Their last game was in the tournament of the ACC way back on November 9th. So we'll see if rust versus rest plays a factor in this tournament matchup. Logan Erb, the all-ACC keeper, keeping tabs. We noted Asian Magoda getting a rare start. Eddie DeMarco, preseason starter, out for the rest of the year. So it is all hands on deck for this Marshall program. A Christmas color rush the week of Thanksgiving. That's my kind of holiday theme. And we get this party started. Asian had 5 big saves on Thursday, asking some huge minutes with DeMarco, the all Sunbelt starter, out. And his NC State students, they are fired up for playoff soccer. First bye they've earned in 15 years. What an incredible year for Mark Hubbard's program.
And fully deserved as well. I think they would have been disappointed that they weren't a higher seed. Yeah, but getting a bye for anyone, that's just a great success.
With Virginia and Stanford joining that group among programs in the top 16. But we've noted this bracket is already turned upside down. The winner of this takes on Virginia or UNC Greensboro, who beat Elon in a penalty shootout on Thursday. And this is Nikola Markovic, the defender of the year in the ACC, one of the best players in the country as a sophomore. Looks for Donovan Phillip up ahead. And Phillip earns an early corner for the Pack.
And that's exactly what you want to do if you're NC State. Just put Marshall under pressure straight away, get a set piece, and you know how important set pieces are, especially for this guy in goal. Just his first start of the season.
And the Wolfpack excel in the corners, 7.5 corners per game. That's 3rd in the country. They put so much pressure on an opposing defense. This is Riley Maloney, the English product. Those Red Terrors are ready to explode here in the first 2 minutes. Maloney back post. Asian with a punch, and the header's through. Donovan Phillip again, his 16th. One of the most prolific scorers in the country wastes no time here in this second round.
That's exactly how NC State would have wanted to start the game. Just have a set piece, putting the goalkeeper under pressure straight away, and Phillip, it's just a striker's goal. It's just right place, right time. Does well to get in front of the defender there, just nod it home.
And we noted the challenge of a second career start for Asian Magoda, struggling with the punch on that first set piece. So how does this change the complexion of the match now, playing with a goal lead versus coming back if you're Marshall?
Yeah, not an ideal start for Marshall, but they've just got to really just forget that happened. There's still plenty of time in the game.
As we've seen in the playoffs, maybe no better time to concede a goal than in the first 5 as opposed to late in the match. Stylistically, Marshall had 5 come from behind wins this year, multiple of those in the Sun Belt. And there's Theo Goddard, one of the senior captains, playing it outside.
But I think that's just a perfect start for NC State. I think that's something that they might have mentioned before the game, especially with this new keeper in goal for Marshall, just to try and put him under pressure straight away, and that's exactly what they did. And
for Coach Hubbard, between great success at New Hampshire and then back-to-back appearances here at NC State, this is reversing the script of what Marshall did a year ago when these teams met in the tournament. That lineage has provided not only a great spark with the Pack's elite defense in the first 2 months, but now some high-scoring attack with the set piece for Phillip. Just 1 goal shy of the nation's lead now for Donovan. An easy touch for Logan Erb. It was a stretch of 10 straight matches without conceding to open the year for the Pack. Just so strong on that end defensively.
But it's interesting to see how teams, line up and set themselves up against NC State right now, because you just see in the centre backs have it, Marshall are, and not a great ball there from Hefes, but it's interesting because Marshall was dropping off, letting the centre backs have it, and then just finding that moment when to press. I know we're just 4 minutes into the game, but you'll start to see both teams trying to figure each other out there.
And stylistically, so many new faces from last year's tournament matchup. Marshall had 2 quick goals. The Pack got 1 back. And then Marshall held on. As here's an early foul in open space. This might get elevated to a yellow. Let's see. As a quick conversation with Maloney. It'll just hold as a foul this time. Yeah,
Maloney just stretching there. Just mistimed his tackle a little bit, but again, I think set pieces is going to be crucial in this game.
Kevin Moore, our lead referee tonight. Marshall has the luxury of depth. 6 different goal scorers with 3 or more. A lot of balance after last year's club had 13 different goal scorers. So electric in their run to the finals. And some early pressure here. A foul committed by Justin McLean of the Pack. And then he's slow to get up as well. That's Carl Rumberg who got taken out at the ankle. Well, since conceding that goal, Marshall has seemed to handle the last 5 minutes. They've had some decent possession, only a couple of set pieces. Now the training staff doing some real evaluations here of McLean, the Georgia State transfer. Good to see McLean back on his feet. Let's watch this again.
Yeah, it looked like an awkward one. Initially, I didn't really see anything, but you just saw there as he was coming down, his foot just looked like it got stuck in the ground.
It's a one-man advantage for the moment here for Marshall. The set piece comes in. Good defending. And a lot of contact as that header from Tyler Caton gets pushed out. We noted the physicality of Marshall, lead the country in yellow cards. Very aggressive set piece unit, especially in the air. This one plays long for Valabioria, and an easy play for Erb. This Marshall unit who graduated the All-American from a year ago, Lineker, Rodriguez, Dos Santos, but now a loose ball in the box and a dangerous shot. Erb with a quick save. That was a feisty moment for Yao Roberto, the Brazilian. One of 13 different nationalities represented on this Marshall roster, and 1 U.S. citizen. Yet over the last 5 years, maybe no program with more consistent tournament success than the Thundering Herd. 7 straight trips to the second round for Marshall. Markovic had some trouble there. But But the 6'5" defender, so good on the ball, wins it back.
Good chance for Marshall here. I mean, NC State, Tommy just giving a cheap giveaway there. Need to be careful just playing out from the back, especially when at Marshall, putting them under so much pressure. But I think for Marshall, this is the exact reaction they would have wanted. Conceding that early goal just a minute into the game. They haven't let NC State get settled in the game. They're just constantly putting them under pressure, winning fouls, putting game free kicks, getting set pieces. You can see right here, just putting NC State under pressure, making them feel uncomfortable.
Now cycling out wide. A Pack program that conceded 3 goals in the ACC tournament, but otherwise had been nearly unblemished on this home pitch. That defensive shape will be tested against a Marshall program that has really found ways to be scrappy in their last 5 matches, over 3 goals of performance.
Yeah, this is where NC State just need to get settled into the game. Just keep the ball. This Markovic, Caton, FS just keeping the ball. Just tiring Marshall out a bit, just calming the nerves, just settling down into the game.
A Marshall program that will sink that back 4 more into a back 6 at times defensively. They really commit numbers. But it's the counterattack of the Thundering Herd that have been dangerous this year. 40 goals on the season. That was second in the Sun Belt. You know what comes next? A highly engaged NC State student section here in the first 10 minutes. A goal from Phillips certainly helps on the set piece.
And NC State will need their fans, especially in the NCAA tournament. Always helps having that good support.
This time it's on home turf in this rematch of last year's thrilling playoff matchup. Wolfpack win the ball here outside the box. Playing into space. And that through pass is cut off. Out wide now to Nare. Junior gets a whiff on it. And here come the Herd. Look at the speed of the flying Tommy to come back on the field. Tommy has to be careful here. De La Vibora. That through ball is intercepted. Markovic always seems to be in the right place as he earns a foul this time.
That's great defending from there from Markovic. Just so well to just intercept it, read the pass, and then just get his body across here just to get that extra touch on it, and then yeah, clear foul on Healy there, but all came from Markovic just winning that ball back.
The defensive player of the year in the ACC. We noted the Pack's stout back 4. End of the year with a plus 33 goal differential, which is hard to fathom in a 17-match campaign. Works through Tyler Caton, who shoots one forward. Ibrahim Kande, who gets the start tonight, works out into space. The New Hampshire transfer now plays it in the middle. Good ball in. And an early test for Asian Magoda, who we noted, the Tokyo native, his 2nd career start tonight. How about that stress and responsibility on your first career appearance in the playoffs, first round, puts the shutout, and then concede a goal on your first chance earlier tonight.
Yeah, I think he's got to soon forget about that and just keep going. I think Marshall have just reacted well in general, so I think that will help settle his nerves as well. But over the past couple of minutes, NC State is just trying to find their rhythm. These balls into Phillip and Kunde from Maloney and their centre backs there, just forcing Marshall to go backwards. I think that's what NC State are looking to do.
Hafiz and Tommy interchanging, and Marshall gets a turnover. Beautiful dispossession, but still in the zone. Offside flag comes up as Roberto looked to peek one through.
Yeah, Markovic again, just reading the game so well, just obviously playing him offside.
The officials had to reset the clock to get the time correct, so you see the 32-38 and ticking. Especially in these postseason matchups, every second is discussed. But personally, I do prefer this model as opposed to the international bonus time added. I think a traditional stoppage of clock just makes it simpler to understand. But I may be in the minority on that opinion. Good connecting space here for the Pack. This ball will test Magoda, and he rises up.
It's been a hectic, frantic start, 15 minutes.
Aleska Jancic, the All-Sun Belt keeper, injured just 3 weeks prior, so it's been mixing and matching goalkeepers. DeMarco had the start, and then Magoda earns his first performance on Thursday. Talk about depth this time of year. That's where it really gets tested, especially at the goalkeeper spot. A good flick forward from Alvarez. Well, Marshall will try to cycle this. Officials will call the foul after the fact on David de la Vibora, the product of the Real Madrid developmental program.
You can already tell after 15 minutes the referee's going to have a busy night.
You have a physical NC State defense, a Marshall program that's accumulated more yellow cards than any team in the country. And chasing a goal, this is all the makings of a tactfully called night. Lots of whistles. Logan Erb with the first touch of his foot. And his year, of course, the defense a big part of that. But to pitch the amount of shutouts, the low goals against, what an improvement for the San Diego State transfer.
Yeah, and you can already compare the game to last year, obviously, when they played each other in the NCAA tournament. NC State, just in general, just a completely different team. Erb obviously had a great season. I think last year they were still rotating goalkeepers, but they've just grown so much, especially in Hubbard's second season. They're just completely, a completely different team, but they've definitely grown a lot as a team.
Yeah, Erb and Enzo Carvalho were basically one match in, one match out for most of the year, and Erb, to his credit, in this defense, second in goals against. They have been locked in from day one. There's a throw-in for the Pack. Nare will test Magoda, and Phillip flicks it wide. That was Tay Healy on the piece.
Good ball in again.
Another tricky ball into the box.
You can see this is where Marshall uncomfortable just dealing with those crosses into the box.
But these set pieces of the Pack have really asked a lot of questions of Marshall's defense. A tricky ball here. Tyler Caton able to play through it, the midfielder. Wolfpack, who have experience against both their possible next opponents, Greensboro and Virginia, here on this home pitch. That match in Charlottesville just getting underway as the women's program for Virginia was upset tonight. They were the #1 seed on that side of the bracket, beat by Washington in penalties. Pushed back the start time along with a little rain delay mixed in. We have a man down for the Pack here as play continues. Phillip gets back to his feet. Tricky ball outside. Tommy centering, not cleared. McLean patient, that's deflected. And the speed of Gabriel Stevanino, the Brazilian, he lost it. Conde has numbers. Good defending. Jinx, you owe me a Coke.
Good tackle as well from Caton.
Oh, they call it late. Kevin Moore issuing the flag, pardon me, the foul. Crossover season, have my sports mixed up there.
I think he did put his flag up. I think he came from the linesman there, just put his flag up.
The ball and leg there.
It looked like the ref, he had a great view of it. Wasn't going to give it, and I think the linesman just put his flag up saying it was a foul.
It definitely got ball first too, which creates.
Yeah, I think that's harsh. I thought that was a great tackle there.
Differing opinions from our line judges and our lead referee. And to your point, how Kevin Moore manages this match is important in the first half to set the stage as one team tries to chase the other.
Yeah, and I mean, the first 20 minutes have been so hectic. It's obviously just one goal, but there's been so much going on.
Nikita Pokoimov shoots it out wide with his brother Kirill on the other side of the midfield. You can tell this home crowd, they've waited 15 years to have a first-round bye in the tournament. A fantastic campaign, 8 home wins. And now she's searching revenge after a tricky matchup a year ago up in Marshall. Marshall took that match, had 2 more upsets, and went all the way to the finals. An overtime thriller with Vermont, who's been eliminated from the tournament this year as the #1 seed. The pesky Pride of Hofstra have moved on. They'll head down to Furman next week. Tricky through ball. Tommy. Did they get a touch on that? They did. Corner kick conceded. Well, Caleb Tommy's had some creative runs here, Brad.
Yeah, he's such a threat for NCAA. I mean, he's a right back, but he's basically playing as a winger. He's NCAA's outlet. He's keeping the width for NCAA, but he's just so quick. Like he can get on the end of those moves.
Riley Maloney, and now his 8 assists on the year. Goes short this time. Caton plays it middle. Healy chips on. Another header off the post and set wide. Nearly a second for the Pack.
It was good effort effort there for Kunde, just coming back against the ball. He just did well to just direct it. Unfortunate not to go in that, but NC State are getting creative with these set pieces, not just putting it into the box, playing short, getting Healy on the ball, putting good crosses in.
Within inches of his first goal with NC State. Healy again. Chips back post, and just wide. A foul this time on NC State, pushing through. But right now, if you're Marshall, this is a dangerous proposition, slowing down some of these set pieces.
Yeah, they just got to weather the storm. I think that's what they're trying to do, just weather the storm, take these punches, but they're dealing with it. They're dealing with NC State's chances.
Carlos Santamaria has subbed into the match for the Wolfpack, the 6th-year senior. And then up top as well, Aiden Payne enters the match, the Wilmington native. So some fresh legs for Mark Hubbard's attack that have already created a ton of opportunities in the first 20 minutes.
Yeah, and if you're NC State, they'll be desperate to get their second goal before halftime.
Payne has 5 goals in his NC State tenure. There's Marshall on the counter. Thundering Herd, a goal in the 28th minute against Cleveland State, the lone difference Thursday. There's a tricky ball that stays in the 18. And then one back by the Pack. Phillip now with it. Phillips, whose goal in the 3rd minute flipped the script of this match. Last year was Marshall the 2-1 winner in the round of 16. Pressure applied by Dail Vibora. Pack doing a nice job of absorbing these high lines. Are there any channels to play through? Carl Rumberg wins it back. As Marshall prepares to make a substitute.
You can see NC State, they're finding their way out of the back, but they're getting to this like halfway line and then they're giving the ball away and just trying to force a pass. Just gotta just stay patient, just keep trying to build into that final third. You don't need to find Phillips straight away. You don't need to find Payne or Kunde straight away. You just keep the ball and just keep bouncing it, keep swinging it. Just stay on it and just stay patient.
Larry Noel, the Salt Lake Community College transfer, comes in along with Momo Jop, the Ryder transfer. He had the MAC Golden Boot Award, best goal scorer in the MAC last year. Part of this Marshall attack where 9 different players have scored 2+. The Pack living with their elite goal scorer in Donovan Phillip, who collected his 16th of the year earlier tonight. Searching for a whistle. Play continues. That's Alvaro Alvarez. See, ugly Christmas sweaters are in. Get SpongeBob over there. All different colors tonight. Good Marshall turnout as well, making the 500-mile trip from Huntington.
Yeah, the Marshall fans would have had some fun following their team over the past couple of years.
The 2020 national title certainly stands alone in that mark. And then a trip to last year's final that came down deep into overtime. A blistering clearance here. Oh, and a late bit of contact. Could this be elevated to a yellow? And it will. It's Tommy with the yellow card. I will say a crafty bit of running there for Dail to earn that contact.
Yeah, I think Tommy doesn't really need to do this. He just takes his eye away from the ball, just like clearly going for Rumberg there. Yeah, clear foul. Definitely clear foul. But I don't think Tommy needs to make that foul there. He's going out and the ball's going away from goal, not really going anywhere.
So a set piece moment for João Alves, the Portuguese product. Herb rises, and he's got it. Hard to get much past the 6'3" keeper, the ACC goalkeeper of the year. By the way, Mark Hubbard's hairline is fantastic tonight. No stress from the playoff coach. We noted earlier 7 straight tournament appearances between New Hampshire and now NC State for Coach Hubbard. That could be said as well for Chris Grassi, his 7th straight trip to the second round. Dail, what a flick. But then plays that in the wrong bit of space, almost wins it back. He's got some playmaking qualities on the ball.
Yeah, Marshall got some good players going forward.
Good win on the ball here. And Payne will earn a throw. Impactful minutes for Aiden Payne off the bench.
It's an interesting battle down this right side for NC State, left side for Marshall. You can see both of their fullbacks, very attacking minded. Dail and Tommy for NC State both like to go forward, both attacking minded, like I mentioned. So it's like they're just testing each other, going back and forth.
Momo Jop wins a turnover here. Shoots that right back to NC State. Marshall is typically a dangerous counter-attacking team, but they've had no answers for the pack defense.
Yeah, Hefes and Markovic just staying strong back there. But Herb in goal makes a difference as well. You can see how confident he is coming for crosses, coming to catch the ball. Just takes the pressure off, his back foot.
Phillip able to switch the field beautifully. Phillip wasted no time. A 3rd-minute goal. That was almost a risky proposition. And instead, a long clearance back to Marshall. Phillips sneaking into the equation, trying to earn a cherry pick opportunity.
yeah, this is where Marshall can be really good as well. Just playing out from the back themselves, just switching the play, getting bodies forward.
Dail, he is a feisty little player, makes it hard to clear it out. Earns a throw in for Marshall as one more substitute enters. This is Adam Mangoran, the Canadian. He played 20 big minutes off the bench against Cleveland State in the second half Thursday. But something tells me in the second half, David Dail will not be out much in the closing 45. Gorin sends one out wide. This is still onside. A moment for Rumberg. Good defending to keep that in play. Here's where Heffes and company's all over it.
Yeah, that's great defending by Heffes, and I think, you know, Tommy just needs to be careful down this right-hand side. Obviously on a yellow card now, but if you're Marshall, you just need to, you know, keep going at, you know, NC State's right-hand side. But Heffes does really well just to cover Tommy there.
Marshall wins it back. A dangerous flick, but no, was it the second ball there for Marshall? Alan Gorin lays it off for Jop. He's got 2 goals on the year. He substitutes, provided a nice burst for Marshall. A flicked on ball. Chested away, but not out. And now out of trouble. Oh, play continues here. Alvarez wins it back for Marshall. It was a clean play on the ball. And Gorin gets a loaded back 8 for the Pack. There was not much room to operate there for Adam and Gorin. It's an interesting interpretation there, whether that's a play on the ball or just a flop at the end.
You can see it given. I think Lovelace was looking for it, but you can see those fouls, you know, given. I think it could have went either way.
And Drew Lovelace has also entered the match, the Holly Springs native. 3 substitutes for each side. Here's Nikita and Kirill Pokoimov. The Russian tandem, both part of the All Sun Belt team. Kirill has it. He'll send it out wide. Both transferred from Oklahoma Wesleyan. What a unique proposition there, going from the middle of Kursk, Russia, out to Oklahoma, now out to Huntington, West Virginia.
Some career journey.
Now, this sport sends you all over the world, does it not? 13 different countries represented for Marshall, and a litany of international standouts this year have come in as first-year players.
You could just sense that Marshall just growing into the game, especially making all these changes, just gaining confidence, you know, comfortable on the ball, playing in NC State's half.
Jop will flick it out wide. A promising header from Goddard. Jop's ball is intercepted, but not cleared. As we near the closing 10 minutes of this first half. A score of note, UNC Greensboro has taken a 1-goal lead, 2-1 over Virginia. But still plenty of time to go in both matches. Those winners will face this weekend.
That'll be a big upset.
Yeah, with the #1 seed already out, #2 is already down a goal in the first half. Remember last year, a Final Four with no ranked teams in it in the College Cup. It can be absolute bonkers on the men's soccer side sometimes. Meanwhile, on the women's side last year, 4 ACC teams, including 4 of the top 6, made the final.
That's why the NCAA tournament's so good.
Yeah, the unpredictability of this sport is fascinating at times. Frustrating as a coach, but fascinating as a fan. Good win of the ball here. And just wide on the shot. Was there a deflection? There was not. It's a goal kick. And now substitutes enter for both squads. Let's take a look.
Philip does really well just to flick it on. Yeah, great touch by Payne, but I think Payne has a little bit more time than he thinks here.
That's an interesting question on that look.
Yeah, Magota does get a touch on it.
Would have been wide regardless, but that would have been a corner instead.
Yeah.
So Donovan Phillip will exit here for the last 8 minutes.
Should have been a corner, but I think Payne could have took an extra touch just to get closer to the goal, just to get a better angle. But yeah, either way, should have been a corner.
Marshall, who has struggled on set-piece defense, avoids another opportunity. Now can play it out with 8 minutes to go. Here's Theo Goddard, the Gardner-Webb transfer. And there's the offside flag. Much like in college football, already movement. Scott Wells of Gardner-Webb just got hired by Liberty this week.
Yeah, I saw that.
Fresh off a Big South championship and then a top 25 ranking this year. No Lane Kiffin, Ole Miss, LSU, you know, wife going on vacation situation, but still a lot happening in the coaching cycle.
Yeah. Not as much money as that situation either.
Well, if I see Michaela Sweeney somewhere this year, I'll know that there could be some job changing and movement.
Maybe.
Evan Budrovich here with Brad Sweeney and our great crew on ESPN Plus.
It's been an intense first half.
Yeah, Marshall's absorbed after giving up that corner kick goal. They've played much better.
I think both teams have had good spells, just going back and forth.
Carl Rumberg has done well on the ball tonight. Here he is flicking one out wide for Shop. Momo. Beautiful win on the ball. Heffes defending and flicked free. Komov goes back to Jop. Jop in the 18. Jop with an interesting shot. Well wide at target, but creative there. And you go back to the 3rd minute. Donovan Phillip, what a finish here inside the 6.
Yeah, perfect start, dream start for NC State. Just putting MacArthur under pressure straight away. And Phillip, just a goal scorer's goal, was just there. Does well just to get his body there. And just to slot it home. But that's the kind of form he's been in this season.
1 goal shy of the nation's lead in the 2nd minute. Donovan Phillip. You see him subbed out for the rest of the half. And we noted with Asian Magota, his 2nd career start, had a little bit of trouble punching that free. That's all Phillip needed. Oh, wow, a foul is conceded here. And I say, wow, just because of the nature of it, not the call necessarily. Felt like a leaning tower of Pisa there, waiting for the late whistle.
Yeah, there's been a few of those instances. Not sure if that was a foul or not. It didn't look like it from here, but another opportunity for Marshall just to get the ball in the box.
A 3rd free kick opportunity in an interesting position. Rumberg. That is right at the keeper. Not going to present much of a challenge. Especially in these tournament moments. Those are critical balls.
Yeah.
Quimov got a ricochet there off of an NC State player. Frankie DiFrancesco, the high point transfer whose program is now ranked 7th in the country. High Point hosting West Virginia tonight out of the Sun Belt. That match gets rolling in about 30 minutes. Also learned this week there are 65 nutcrackers around High Point's campus that are planted. They're all 10 feet tall. 'Tis the season, my friend.
Yeah, it's good from.
You're more of an after Thanksgiving guy, clearly.
Good fun fact for Christmas.
A loose scrum outside the box. Both programs wanting whistles, and it's Marshall ball. This could be tricky. Quimoff does a nice job getting out of traffic. And a throw-in earned here as we tick near the 3-minute mark. Isaac Heffes, who followed his head coach over from New Hampshire, directing traffic on this throw. A long one at that. Healy couldn't keep it in play. The gloves for Healy tonight as we tick at 55 degrees. Anything you look to see here coming out of the half if you're Marshall or NC State?
It'll be interesting to see, I mean, how the first half finishes, but also how they come out in the second half, because I think both teams, have had good spells. I think Marshall have grown into the game, as you can see here.
There's a strong run for Larry Noel. Larry wins it. A flick on towards the box that's nearly dangerous. And now cleared out.
But I think NC State will look to get their midfield involved a little bit more, especially their attacking players. Lovelace, Healy, get them on the ball a little bit more just to calm the game down, settle the game down. But if you're Marshall, I think more of the same, more of how they played in the last 15 minutes of this first half. But it's just how can they get past Heffes and Markovic? How can they create real chances now?
Even the one shot on target was not too tricky for Logan Erb in this first half. A tussle here on the ball with a minute left. Advantage for the Pack. That'll go out of play, so a corner here. Or pardon me, overruled by the head referee. It's a goal kick. Thomas Lamai made that interesting. Now we'll look to end the first half here. The second-minute goal from Donovan Phillip has been the big difference.
Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5.
Both teams gaining confidence in the first 45, but the Wolfpack score first in this rematch of last year's Sweet 16 battle. And our lead official will send us off to break. Nothing after the whistle here. And now both teams asking for explanations before we head to the break. Well, first, Mark Hubbard coming over to join us here. And thank you for joining us, Coach Hubbard. First and foremost, 2 minutes in, your program able to convert on a set piece. What did that say about Donovan Phillip putting that one through? Here's.
Can you hear me?
Well, we got you now, Coach Elbert.
Okay.
Apologies.
Yeah.
What did that say about Donovan Phillip putting that home in the first 2 minutes?
It's good for him to get on the score sheet, get some confidence. Obviously, we look really dangerous in those set-piece situations. But the second part of that first half, not getting enough attacking half possession, and after losing it, just sort of giving it away. So we got to be better.
Yeah, Coach, and are you going to make any tweaks just to find those attacking players, Lovelace, Healy, just to find that possession in the final third?
They're stepping and pressing up more, so we have a lot of space to play forward's feet every time we are able to hold the ball up there. It seems like we've had some success with being able to get in and create some chances. But you know, other than that, I think just being a little bit better under pressure and being able to play forward after we win it.
Thank you for the time and good luck next half.
Thank you.
There's Mark Hubbard, who's very accustomed to NCAA soccer, his 7th consecutive trip between New Hampshire here at NC State. We're getting ready for the second half of play in Raleigh. That's the difference. Second-minute header for Donovan Phillip. He was loving that. Wolfpack, the 1-goal lead early, but Marshall pressing late. We'll be right back with our halftime report in the second half here in Raleigh. Welcome back to Raleigh. It's halftime, which is everyone's checking the NCAA bracket on their phones. They have to be, right? That's what's going on here through 45 minutes. 15th ranked NC State, a 1-goal lead over Marshall, and the winner of this match will take on either UNCG or Virginia. Because here's how the bracket looks through the first week of play. We told you those first-round games have unfolded, so the rest of the bracket starts cooking. Here's the quadrant that both teams are in. Greensboro, the 1-goal lead at halftime over the second-ranked Virginia Cavaliers, and Georgetown has moved on, so they'll face West Virginia or High Point. A lot of Sun Belt teams on this side of the bracket, 3 of them, in fact. Anything intrigue you about the bracket so far here, Brad?
I mean, this bottom score, if that holds on, Greensboro, that will be a big upset. And then that would mean today the 1 and 2 teams knocked out of the tournament. But yeah, a lot of ACC teams this side of the bracket, Sun Belt.
Of the 9 teams so far, SMU has been upset already. Lost to Washington earlier today. The 5 seed goes down, and Stanford will play later tonight. It is unique with Carolina going out as well, and Duke falling earlier today. A mixed bag of results in terms of success for the conference.
Yeah, I mean, over the past 4 seasons, the ACC's obviously came out on top, but then you see the likes of Vermont and Marshall, coming through and winning the tournaments as well. So.
Well, this year we'll have a new national champion. Vermont has been eliminated. We'll step aside, get you some highlights and some nuggets from the first half when we come back. A 1-goal lead for the Pack through 45. Plenty more soccer to go. Welcome back to Raleigh. 45 minutes of action so far, and an early goal, the big difference for the Wolfpack. A 1-goal lead here in Raleigh, a rematch of last year's thrilling Sweet 16 matchup. And some highlights early on. It really starts in the 2nd minute with a nice set-piece goal.
I mean, yeah, this is a great start. Perfect start for NC State. Putting the Marshall goalkeeper under pressure straight away. That set piece. Donovan Phillip, great start to his NCAA tournament. And then Mark Hubbard noted after that goal, it was a struggle to really maintain possession. Yeah, they still had a couple of chances, predominantly from crosses and set pieces. But I said the last 15 minutes, 20 minutes, Marshall really grew into the game. You gained some confidence. Put NC State under pressure, started pressuring them a little bit higher as well, which didn't help NC State. And then Aiden Payne late in the half. This created a moment of opportunity. Yeah. That was flicked free by the goalkeeper and kept it a 1-0 score at the break. So all that being said, we got a lot of soccer to go. 45 minutes left here at Dail Soccer Stadium. Thanks for joining us with Brad Sweeney, Evan Budrovich. First of all, the Wolfpack come out storming out of the gates. What should we expect here in the second half? I mean, pretty much more of the same. You listen to the coach before the break. He'll be looking to keep the ball, find more possession in the attacking third. But the set piece is going to be crucial, important. But his back four have been great as well. Markovic and Hefes haven't let anything get past them. And as we've seen, Marshall's gained some confidence in that second half, but the Wolfpack defense so organized, not many clean chances. Yeah, and on the contrary, Marshall, they look to create more chances in the second half themselves. Obviously, they gain momentum getting the ball up the pitch, but now it's just breaking down NC State's back four, finding those chances, creating those chances themselves. Let's dive into some of the numbers of the first half and get you ready for second half of action.
Here in Raleigh, it's a 1-goal lead for the Pack. We'll hear from Coach Grassi and much more before we kick off the second here on ESPN+. Welcome back to Raleigh. That man on the phone saying, hey, did you see the #1 and #3 seeds get upset this weekend? Princeton and Vermont have gone down. Opens up the bracket a lot here in the NCAA tournament. Number 15 NC State, a 1-goal lead over Marshall through 45. Some numbers of note from the early minutes. First of all, NC State a little more on the shot making and the opportunities, but Marshall has limited some of those chances lately.
Yeah, NC State had a couple of good chances, obviously the goal, but then they also hit the post as well. But a lot of NC State's success have been from set pieces and crosses. But you know, one stat that isn't on here is the possession, you know, and the momentum Marshall got, you know, in the last 15-20 minutes of that first half. You know, I think they gained confidence as the first half went on, and they'll look to, you know, build on that in the second half.
Yeah, a lot happening in those first 45. Marshall, a counter-attacking team, just the one shot on target to test Logan Urban, a Wolfpack defense. We noted they gave up the 3 goals in the tournament, but only 7 conceded all year, which has to give you a ton of confidence entering the second half.
Yeah, and you can see, you know, how confident Urb is just coming to collect the balls, just taking the pressure off his back four. But Markovic as well, back there, so solid, and Hefes as well. You know, really confident in just dealing with anything that's coming their way.
Coach Chris Grassi will be joining us in just a moment when he comes out from the locker room. This Thundering Herd program, so much deep NCAA tournament experience, 7 straight trips to a second round. It's the Wolfpack's first time with a bye in 15 years, and this home crowd has lived up to the billing. Great atmosphere. And that second-minute goal certainly got things going early. Last year it was Marshall hanging on for the 2-1 win in the round of 16. And here come both teams taking the pitch, ready for the second half. We'll see if any lineup adjustments are made out of the break. And now Coach Grassi set to join us. Well, Coach, thank you for the time. Obviously conceding the goal early in the first 2 minutes, but what did you like about your team's response in that first half?
Yeah, no, I thought we had the better of it. You know, we played sort of the things that we wanted to do, the patterns that we wanted to put into play. We kind of did very well. I thought we defended very well. You know, it was just sort of one corner, and obviously a young goalkeeper, you know, made an error, but I thought he was terrific after that. You know, he was kind of. It could shake a guy, but it didn't really shake him. He came back and was very strong. I kind of like the team. I know we had a couple of chances. I think, you know, obviously we're getting fouled every time we try to run in behind. We're getting pulled down, so hopefully the referees can deal with that a little bit. But it's coming, you know, so it's exciting. Yeah,
Coach, anything that we can expect to see more of, just to create a couple more chances?
Yeah, I think, you know, it's we turned them over 4 or 5 times on the press there. You know, they have some good possession play, but if we're patient, you know, we've turned them over. We've just got to take more chance in those moments and maybe get at somebody and get a couple of shots. But I think, you know, it feels like it's coming, so hopefully we can stick with it.
Thank you for the time, Chris.
Thank you.
And good luck in the second half. There's the Marshall coaching staff gearing up for the next 45 minutes. And at this time of year, when that clock starts ticking down inside of 10, this match will get bonkers as both teams pursue a second-round win. Nothing is better than postseason soccer when one team has to chase a goal late. Marshall, to their credit, they could have had this match unfolded quickly, but a couple of key saves for Asian Magoda in his second career start. And now the Wolfpack have the ball to begin this second half. Riley Maloney shoots one long. And a throw in back for Marshall. Maloney, part of the all-freshman team. A loaded roster of all-conference players for Mark Hubbard in year 2 here at NC State. When does that clock start ticking in? When does that internal pressure heat up when you're trailing or chasing a goal?
I mean, always it's going to be on the back of your mind. Marshall, they're chasing that goal, but there's still plenty of time left. so really the last like 5 minutes when you start like, I don't want to say panicking, but the urgency starts to kick in a little bit there, and like time's running out. But I think right now, it was a good interview with good conversation with Coach Grassi there. I think his feeling, his sense of that first half, especially the end of it, is what we felt as well. Marshall growing into the game once it conceded, especially in the last 20 minutes of that first half.
And to his point, if he can win any of those long free balls and just create some pressure on the back four.
Yeah.
A Marshall team that has battled through the Sun Belt tournament, beat West Virginia to get to the finals of the Sun Belt, losing to UCF, but showed tremendous resolve over Cleveland State Thursday. Now some room in the space here for the Pack. Lovelace centering. Tricky ball. Wanted DiFrancesco, and he couldn't find it.
Great little turn there from Lovelace. And I think that's what NC State can look for more of. Lovelace just getting pressure and just turns it. Great first touch, and then here just driving forward. And then I think DiFrancesco, his first touch kind of lets him down there a little bit, but good play there from Lovelace.
That throw in easily cleared, but the Pack will recycle. Hefes out wide. A flick on. Markovic almost there. Still alive and just high. Wow, DiFrancesco, 2 promising chances here early.
Yeah, he'll want to see this one back. I think the first one was a little bit tricky. His first touch let him down, but here, NC State, the set pieces again, he just does well just to get in front of the defender, but he just leans back and just...
Oh, and that look from the student section's fantastic.
Yeah.
Their faces, they knew that was a possible second and could create some real pressure on Marshall.
Yeah, should have been a second, and I think if that second goes in, that really just changes the game, relaxes a little bit.
This is what Marshall's done all year. Multiple come from behind wins, and they're hanging tough down 1-0. Back into DiFrancesco's foot. Remember, for how good NC State's been defensively, entering postseason play, second in goals against. They do not give up many cheap ones. A second could have been a dagger early in this half. Tommy in pursuit. That'll roll out. And how about this promising chance 5 minutes in if you're NC State?
Yeah, it's just a set piece again.
Even Magoda's face, he went,
yeah.
He took a big sigh of relief.
There's nothing Magoda could have done about that if it was on target. Big let off for Marshall, but if you're NC State, you just got to be kicking yourselves.
And Coach Grassi noted the composure of Magoda after conceding that goal. It impressed him. He's the 3rd string keeper. Both starters out tonight. Jancic and then DeMarco unavailable. Shows it takes a full 30-man roster to win these championships, especially this time of year. There's a promising flick. Vibora centering out wide. Well, that's the kind of ball that is very tasty if you're Marshall.
think both coaches were pleased with how the teams have came out, going forward at least anyway. But it's been a great game to watch. It's just back and forth, chances created. Both two good teams just going at it.
This is the second time we've seen Tommy down. Now the training staff will be asked to come on. It looks like a substitute might be entering as well. Carlos Santamaria getting some notes. You noted with Tommy, he'd been the defender who'd been forced to come forward, play some balls out wide. That is a different stylistic play if he's out for the next few minutes.
Yeah, I think if Santamaria comes in, both similar. Santamaria, he's more of a central player, a lot more comfortable on the ball, but still more of an attacking player.
There's our NCAA rep, Dustin Fonder, watching on and behind, the Campbell head coach. Love to have the local coaches around to help augment and keep tabs of what's going on tonight. As there's the substitute coming out. Coach Fonder's probably checking all the scores around the bracket this year with the number 1 and number 3 seeds upset. Fonder's program played here at NC State 5 years ago in a tournament in the first round. Markovic deflects this, but a corner has been earned. Well, here's one of Marshall's best opportunities of the match. It's taken nearly 60 minutes, but now a moment. They'll play it short. Rumberg. Not the best touch.
Yeah, and in fairness, NC State, they've dealt with everything so far, but Marshall doing well to create the chances. Obviously that corner there, but that left-hand side for Marshall, right-hand side for NC State, especially now with Tommy out injured, but Tommy was on a yellow card anyway. I think that could be, that some pivotal moments can come down that right-hand side, left-hand side for Marshall.
So in this bracket, the 1 seed's out, the 3 seed's gone, the 5 seed SMU's out, and the 6 seed Indiana eliminated. While the number 4 seed Maryland went to penalties against North Carolina. It is no chalk, all madness in this second round, with Virginia on the brink as well, down a goal early in the second half. Lovelace working through traffic. Go back to that first half. There was a promising ball from Ibrahim Condé that flicked off the post. That could have opened up the scoring as well.
Yeah, NC State have had a couple of good chances. Just get that a second. For Marshall just staying around, playing well as well. The coach was saying just before the second half, you can feel the goal coming from Marshall. They're just going to start putting NC State under a lot of pressure.
Right now, though, for Marshall, there hasn't been a clean shot on target of note, but possession starting to build. Marshall team had 3 come-from-behind wins in their run to the national final last year. But it is a lineup of totally new faces. 9 seniors from last year's deep run. Some space here from Pakumov. Marshall aggressive into the 18. De La Vibora, the Spaniard. And a good play to win the ball up top for the Wolfpack. Wanting a whistle. And play continues. Kevin Maurer keeping the whistle in his pocket. Right now, Marshall's been able to cycle and win a lot of balls at the middle of the field. Big collision and a Marshall throw. Some call it a fashion statement, Brad. Could you give me the explanation behind that one?
It started after I'd finished playing, but something to do with blood circulation in the calves. I don't know if it does much, but people do it.
Becoming ever common on this Christmas-colored theme night, red versus green. A week before Thanksgiving, with the winner facing Black Friday coming up. A possible third-round matchup. Winner of Greensboro and Virginia will play the winner of this one either Friday or Saturday, depending on what the home team selects. I've seen Black Friday deals now as early as like November 1st.
Yeah, it's not.
The allure of Black Friday has certainly lost its...
It's nothing crazy now. It goes on for weeks.
A turnover on this end of the pitch. Healy sends it wide. McLean tried to center, couldn't get a clean touch on it. Now this Hefes Markovic all ACC tandem, they have absorbed and collected everything so far.
Yeah, those two are dealing with everything back there, and I say Caton as well, just so important. Those three, Caton, a holding midfielder, just sweeping everything up, just keeping the ball moving. But one player that NC State would want to get involved more, and you hope to see more of, is Healy. Just finding Healy on the ball. Obviously, a great season last year, but trying to find him, to his feet a little bit more, trying to find him in goal scoring opportunities. I think that's where Healy thrives. That top of the box area.
Just to note, those games are Saturday or Sunday, depending on. So no Black Friday conversation. We're clear there. There's a ball out wide. Markovic coming forward. A flick. Maloney inside the box. Deflected. Just wide. And a corner. And an injured Marshall player down. That's Alvarez.
Reaction seems a bit dramatic there, but
as Alvarez slowly gets back to his feet. There'll be substitution windows first before the corner. Now we're ready to play. Fifth corner kick for the Pack tonight. Maloney's turn. Back poster. And it's through. Set piece specialty from the Wolfpack. And a 2-goal lead. Riley Maloney, how about this?
Yeah, that's a great crossing. Does everything that you'd want him to do, especially with the new goalkeeper, putting McGarter under pressure there.
So Phillip in the 2nd minute, Maloney in the 59th. He was a big part of the first goal as well. Oh, American traditions have slipped into soccer as well. A college football fad that has moved over to... Oh, yeah.
I saw that at the football game against FSU the other night. But we talked about how important set pieces would be during this game and this tournament. But NC State are just doing everything right. Scoring in the first minute, putting Magoto under pressure, and then you see there Riley just putting a cross in right under the goalkeeper, just forcing them to do something, and just putting pressure under them.
Two resounding set-piece goals have created some major separation. And now a foul away from the ball. That UNC Greensboro, Virginia match is nearing the 70th minute. 2-1 lead for the Spartans so far. And the tough part, if you're Chris Grassi, his program has been able to maintain possession, have moments, but some corner kick defense has cost them.
Game's not over though, still half an hour to play, still plenty of time left. I think Marshall, this guy, stay calm, keep doing what they're doing, but this is where that urgency might start kicking in now. Just you got to get one back. Just try and get one back.
Marshall throw in with under 30 to play. In that first half, David de la Vibora was so good on the ball. He has barely had any touches. The 4-goal scorer, him and Carl Rumberg, the top strikers on the year. De la Vibora here runs into the flagstick. And here's Logan Irby, ACC goalkeeper of the year. Really one clean opportunity against him. Those 10 shutouts put him in a premier place among the NCAA. And now with a 2-goal lead, it becomes so challenging here if you're Marshall. Flicks that to himself. To think he's only a sophomore as well.
He's so calm and composed back there. Hasn't let anything get past him tonight, but on the ball as well. He's just so calm. handles the pressure well, and he's a key piece to NC State, playing the way they play.
Part of a defense that's conceded only 7 goals all year. And a foul here against the Pack. Substitutions as well. Momo Jop will re-enter the match for Marshall. And Larry Noel. That tandem was good in the closing 10 minutes of the first half. Now needing a spark here in the second. Relieving Yao Roberto. A long ball. Jop in pursuit. Some tussling and a foul against Marshall. A card comes in as well. We noted with Marshall the most penalized yellow card team in the country. Dail Viora officially collects that. Now, how do I get that parking spot? You see that car right behind the Wolfpack sign out there? A lot happening with a great crowd here in Raleigh. There are tailgaters on top of the big 4-level parking lot behind us in the press box. Everyone trying to get a sneak peek of this tournament action. A rematch of last year's round of 16 battle. The winner will head that way. And look at that, hanging out from the top of the parking deck. It's a pretty good seat. They've had crowds of 5,000 plus, including when Carolina was in town in early September. You can only imagine as this tournament gets deeper. Get some turkey and then a holiday weekend matchup if NC State holds and Greensboro holds the score over there.
It has to be a good view from up there as well.
You mix in the fall foliage and good weather tonight. Makes for a great second round matchup. Marshall, the reigning national finalists. Santa Maria on the ball now. A flick out wide. Francesco. He just missed what would have been a second goal at the time, a third overall. Haley the flick, playing it through, still alive. And now if you're Marshall, these are some dangerous minutes. Neal wins it. Noel, pardon me. De La Viboria. Now the counter. Rumberg centers. There's not much on that, and Heffes wisely clears. And a late whistle will stop the clock here. A warning to the Marshall sideline. A playoff rematch, big implications. You can sense the emotion coming out. Now Alvarez. Noel's onside.
Markovic there again.
Just creating a difficult angle. And now a foul against Marshall.
Good defending, and then Maloney here just gets a little clip. Does well to get his body in front of the ball.
Aiden Payne and Donovan Phillip re-enter for the Pack, and Payne's goal in the 2nd minute kick-started the scoring tonight.
In fairness to both teams, you can see the depth that both squads have. You know, NC State, you bring in, changing their two strikers. You know, they've got four good number 9s that can play up top. You know, Payne and Phillip just came in, but you can see the changes Marshall made as well, just trying to tweak things, trying to, you know, get a goal back. But it's been a great game to watch. You know, 2 really good teams just going back and forth, going at it. You know, the 2 goals so far just came down to set pieces, and I think that's really what you can, you know, look out for, especially like during this tournament. You know, it's just set pieces, just shows how important they are.
Yeah, the 2 corners have changed the complexion of this match. Jop on the ball. Marshall trying to bring some numbers forward. And then some miscommunication and a turnover.
Yeah, Santa Maria's done so well ever since coming on at right back. Obviously, Tommy went out injured, went down, but was also on a yellow card as well. And Santa Maria just came in and just defended so well. Who is a natural right back?
And as those cards accumulate come playoff time, you want to keep guys available every round you can. That's a good point. Well, we'll just shuffle one along. So in this quadrant of the bracket, Georgetown's advanced, the 7. High Point, the 10, will battle West Virginia. And then the winner of this, and Virginia and UNC Greensboro will tangle this weekend. Paquimoff comes forward. De La Vibora on the ball. He's looking for assistance. Jop goes down, still alive. And now a whistle. So we hit the 20-minute mark. 2 more substitutes here for Marshall. Gavano Francis, the UT Rio Grande Val transfer, comes in.
Number 19, Joshua Scherer, and number 20, Tibiano Francis.
And also Yasha Scherer, the SIUE transfer. Good win by Scherer. Can Marshall manufacture some options here? Jop, 1v1. Santa Maria tested. Jop gets real estate, deflected wide. And a corner kick.
Jop's the one that Marshall needs to find. See here, just going at Santa Maria 1v1, does well to cut inside, get his shaft.
Guess who? Markovic.
That man there, Markovic. just stands strong and gets a block in. But yeah, he's the man that Marshall looking gonna keep finding out there on that left-hand side, just quitting in on his right-hand side.
Scherer puts one in. That's hit way too high, not much on it. What a contrast. 2 corners for Marshall, nothing coming. 2 corners for the Pack, and they've been brilliant finishes. 2 of their 4. Four of the top 6 national seeds have been eliminated. Number 2's on the brink, which means this tournament is wide open as we enter the end of the 2nd round. And this Marshall staff furious that there was a foul on the ball back there. And then Marshall had to get bodies back on side.
This is what the Marshall fans, staff, are complaining about. Didn't look like a foul to me. It just looked like a little bit of a stumble.
A yellow card to the coaching staff. Yeah, the head coach, in fact, got the yellow.
Yeah,
Get to this late moments, both teams trying to manufacture opportunities.
Yeah, and you heard the coach at the halftime break talking about his players getting fouled, maybe putting a little bit of pressure on the referees, 4th officials, linesmen. But that last one didn't look like a clear foul to me. It just looked like a little bit of a stumble.
Yeah, there have been some earlier plays that may have been more noteworthy there.
I mean,
accumulation.
In games like this, you've just got to try and put some pressure on. And if that means putting some pressure on the referees as well, you know, it's just intense. You don't want to lose, especially when you're chasing a goal as well.
That's where that 2nd goal really creates some mounting pressure. Logan Erb to clear it. And worth noting, in the last 10 minutes remaining up in Charlottesville, Virginia has just tied that match with a penalty. 2-2. They're just a few minutes ahead of us. Wolfpack with possession. Payne plays it wide, missing his target. Wanted Healy tracking. After Marshall finding a way to get one in the next 5 or 6 minutes, just create any bit of game pressure on the Wolfpack. De La Vibora outside to Jop. 2 goals this year from Momo. And he can't win the wrestling match with Santa Maria.
Santa Maria again, just defending so well. Supposed to get his jump down there.
Here's Lovelace. Marshall really applying no pressure. They can just milk clock, possess the ball.
Yeah, they're going to have to start putting pressure on the ball. NC State just doing well to just keep the ball moving and tiring Marshall out. And that's opening spaces for Caton here.
And now a foul. Marshall trying to self-start, but our lead ref, Kevin Moore, not ready. Looks like Kevano Francis getting back to his feet. There is a substitute coming on. Adam and Corin. Well, that's a big news. If De La Vibora is out, who can be the spark for Marshall? Now Francis shoots one wide. Goal kick. Well, it may take some moments of individual brilliance here if you're Marshall late.
Yeah, you got to do, and that's what you might rely on, just that individual brilliance. Didn't trouble but you know, Marshall just looking for that spark just to try and break NC State down. Marshall played really well. You're building, putting pressure on NC State, but they haven't just quite found those chances. You're getting past Hefes, getting past Markovic. That's credit to the NC State back four, goalkeeper Caton then there as well, just defending so well.
One of the top defending units in the country, them and Grand Canyon, who are both making deep tournament runs right now. Marshall gives it away. Quick clearance. That was Pakomov. Well, if you're Marshall here, how do you manufacture some moments in the last 11 minutes?
And this is where they just got to start getting numbers forward.
Noel on the ball, flicks it wide. Hefes wins it. Here comes Phillip. Ryan Holmes able to get on top of that. The senior captain. The one returning starter from last year's deep tournament run. And now NC State ball. Good run on the far side here for Goddard. He flicks one on. Header on. Second header into the mitts of Logan Erb. Hannah Van Goren with a great shot on target. And Larry Noel setting that up.
and Goran just does well to just knock it back over. And Noel does well. Difficult chance because the ball's behind him, but
hard to get any momentum on that.
Noel is there when he's called upon though. Thankfully, it was like for him anyway, just straight at him, just being able to catch it comfortably.
So the clock ticks under 9 minutes. Donovan Phillip on the counter. Phillip unloads and will test Magoda. So a foul here against the Pack. And before they start play, there's one last substitution. With the new NCAA substitution windows, Marshall has utilized their last entrance, at least of the regular portion, the next 8 minutes of the match. Louis Salkeld comes in, and also for the Pack, Thomas Lamai re-enters. You get 6 windows, and in the last 15 minutes, the clock stops if the leading team makes the sub. But now the clock has started. Just worth noting as we tick under 8 minutes. White here, Bakimov comes forward. Still alive. And there's almost a goal. Wow, Noel with 2 quality chances.
Yeah, that's a great chance for Noel. Does really well just to read where the ball's going to be going.
A rare miss hit from Markovic, too.
Yeah, on Noel's left foot, just drags it across his body, but especially with 8 minutes to go, that's the chances you need to put away. Those are the chances you need to finish off.
Between the header and then that shot, that could be 2-2 right away. Holmes will wrestle Phillip away for the ball. Donovan's goal in the 2nd minute, his 16th of the year.
Still 7 minutes to go though for Marshall just to get back in it.
Time certainly the enemy of Marshall here. It is coming off such a deep run to last year's NCAA tournament final. Mark Hubbard's program searching for a signature home win. Their first time earning the bye as a top national seed in 15 years, and they've come out swinging tonight. 2 set-piece goals. The offside flag was presented. Still tied in Charlottesville as they move in the final 5 minutes. Of course, in playoff soccer, overtimes and then shootouts become a factor again. Now Momo Jop on it. The senior looking to close out his career with a late moment. He gives it away. Lamai. There's Marshall on the counter. Good nutmeg. Noel flicks it middle. Jop on the outside. And here's Marshall in the last 5 minutes, creating a couple of chances. But the 2 top goal scorers, Rumberg and De La Vibora, are out. It's up to the collective whole. Scherer on the throw. High header. Punched, but still alive. A second ball. While Herb in danger, they wanted the penalty. Play continues. Phillip clears it. No penalty awarded. So a third flick on, headed through, and Herb is there. And now play stops.
Marshall
with a VAR review.
Screaming for a penalty there. Marshall staff, the bench.
Was there any grab of Jop here to pull him down?
No, there's no grab. I think Herb just loses the ball, just trying to come out to punch for it. He's a long way away from his goal now, but he's just trying to get a hold of it. And I think it's his shin there, just catches him. I don't think that's a foul though, but
that's what Kevin Moore is evaluating. And we're calling the field is no penalty. Based on those angles, it would take a lot to overturn and award a chance there.
Herb came a long way there to come and get the ball, and then he just chasing it here. I don't think there's much in it for me. I mean, Phillip's already there by the time Diop's going down.
Let's see if there's any bit of contact from this angle.
I think it's his shin. From that angle, though, it does look.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a flick out of that leg, but does it?
From that angle, you can see the contact more clearly. But I think Phillip is there to deal with it straight away. But I don't know about this one.
Get that back angle. Makes it a little more interesting than the front angle. Here comes Kevin Moore with the call.
The last angle looked a little bit more like a foul.
Nothing of note. You hear Chris Scrassey's gripe. Well, Marshall, to give their credit, I mean, these were 3 quality chances in the last 8 minutes.
Yeah, all we needed is just 1 goal to just change the game, and then yeah, it's a difficult one for the referee to look at. I mean, you can see the contact, but I think the fact that Phillip's there just to deal with it and get rid of it straight away, and it wasn't too much contact, but there's still contact, you know. So I think if it was the other way around, NC State would be asking for.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, you've got.
Given how tight the margins have been in this match. The Greensboro-Virginia match is heading into overtime. Winner of this match takes on the winner over there. Ooh. Goal kick. NC State, who's played both Greensboro and Virginia on this home pitch, a 1-0 loss, playing a man down against UVA, and then a 1-1 draw with Greensboro all in October. Play will not start until Logan Herb sends this ball away. Lamai out for Phillip. He'll head to the corner flag. And now the clock game begins. Well, that was quick. The savvy Marshall program knows how to evade that moment. But the clearance not excellent. Quality header from Maloney. A risky slide. Opens up Payne. And a throw.
Smart play from Payne. It's killing time.
Closing 3 minutes, and both fan bases searching for whistles. Kevin Moore trying to keep play continuing.
Markovic just makes the game look so easy. He's just so strong.
NC State on its way to a second-round win. They'll await the winner of UNC Greensboro and Virginia. That's now heading to overtime. Ooh, ricochet off Phillip. Donovan Phillip elects to play to the corner. That's smart as well. You could go for the goal there or just take time off the clock in the last minute. Marshall, who had the last laugh in the round of 16 a year ago. But it's the NC State set pieces that have done enough tonight. Now Phillip heads towards target. Donovan shoots, good save. Not the greatest clearance. Stays alive for McLean. He shoots one towards the Red Terrors. Wrapping up a dominant night for NC State here at home. The Wolfpack are moving on to the round of 16, defending their home turf. And what a fun playoff rivalry. Marshall and the Wolfpack for the second straight year goes NC State's way here in Raleigh tonight. So Mark Harbert's program takes another step to the round of 16. Second straight year. Big goal from Phillip early, and then the final goal from Maloney late was enough to win this one 2-0. Here's how the bracket unfolds. Georgetown, it's been a little more chalk on this side of the bracket, but nationally the 1, 3, 5, and 6 seeds all eliminated with that Virginia game heading into overtime. The winner, NC State, will face either Greensboro here or Virginia in Charlottesville next weekend. Your final thoughts, Brad, on the performance tonight from the Wolfpack?
I think it was just a great game to watch from both sides. You know, NC State, we talked about set pieces, but the 2 goals straight from set pieces. You know, Riley Maloney straight from corner kick, and then I think they got off to a perfect start. And I think that set the tone for the game in the first half. You know, Phillip scoring after a minute. You know, but Marshall, you know, they dug deep, they played well. You know, just couldn't break down NC State's back four. I think Markovic and Hefes and Erb just stayed strong, just played really well. But you know, it was back and forth against, you know, between 2 very good teams. So it was a great game to watch.
We have the pleasure of having Riley Maloney with us tonight. Riley, your set pieces were so critical in this performance. What did it take for your program to pull out the win tonight?
It's a lot of work we've put in over the season. Every little thing, we just do the little 1% every day in training. We just do what we can and battle as much as possible and got across the line, so buzzing.
Yeah, Riley, talk to me about the team performance. Obviously, you know, great start with the first goal in the first minute, but you know, what about the performance throughout the whole game?
No, it's top. We can really believe in each other. Everyone who plays on the pitch, everyone works, everyone comes in and does their bit. So, yeah, look, a good little graph from the boys. Obviously, it's so important to get that second goal, so it's good getting that work in and got across the line, as I said again.
And thank you for the time, Riley. Congrats on the win.
Thank you, boys. Appreciate it.
You see the energy from this Wolfpack club. They're gearing up for a third-round matchup. Still TBD, but a lot of excitement here in Raleigh tonight. It may or may not be the final home game for the Wolfpack. All depends what happens in Charlottesville. Mark Hubbard repping the Wolfpack tonight. Home playoff game. And this set piece got the scoring started. Donovan Phillip, one of the nation's leaders, his 16th of the season. Thanks for joining us on ESPN+. Brad Sweeney, Daniel Zolfel, Josh Monk, our great crew, and SpongeBob SquarePants in attendance tonight. A lot of holiday cheer. Wolfpack pull out a 2-0 win over Marshall. I'm Evan Mudrovich saying good night from Raleigh as the Wolfpack advance here on the road to Cary. This is a presentation of ESPN. NC State, the 2-0 winner.